Hello YouTube, welcome to another one of my Duel Links videos, and today I have for you Darklords, as probably everyone else who you watch on YouTube. I'm pretty late to the party. I didn't get a chance to record last night, and I didn't get a chance till now to record. But this is the build that I settled for. Unfortunately, I think Darklords are still missing some cards for them to be truly competitive. Right now, they're a really fun deck that has high potential, but it bricks like crazy, and you can do a lot of things to try to mitigate that. You can use different skills that will aid you, as far as consistency, but beatdown is probably the best way of running it, because you can special summon so many monsters on the board, gain insane amounts of attack, and then just try to go for game that way. At the beginning, I didn't know if I should play 3 Darklord Uko back, if I should play 2, 1, or no Superbia, if I should maximize on Desire. So there's a lot of ways of playing it. What I ended up noticing is that I would lose to stall a lot. A lot of times I would have one card too few for my combos. I found myself ending with a Darklord Nastin, Darklord Morningstar, and another card, and I couldn't special summon the Nastin to then tribute for Morningstar. I always had to use the Morningstar first off of my hand, either with Eggshell or with Nastin. So to fix that a little bit, I went double Superbia, which is all I have, to try to my objective with this deck is to go into Morningstar, is to get 2 monsters on the board one way or another, and then go into Morningstar, because Morningstar is a really good boss monster. 3000 attack, 3000 defense, cannot be targeted. If you control another Darklord, you mill and gain life. It just does a lot of things, so that's kind of what I wanted to focus this deck on. So I teched in Celestial Transformation. Special summon 1 fairy type monster from your hand. That monster's attack is half, and it is destroyed during the end phase. All of our monsters are fairy, so this is great for 2 things. Either if you only have 1 Darklord in your hand, you can set this and protect yourself during your opponent's turn. If you already have 1 Darklord on the field and you're trying to go into your Morningstar, you can do that with Celestial Transformation to get that second tribute fodder. If you attack and you don't see any sort of delay and you're close to lethal, you can activate Celestial Transformation, special summon during the battle phase, then attack for game. So it's a pretty cool tech in this deck. We're running Hey True Nade because we're kind of weak to back row. We don't have anything really to pop back row. Our best bet is to have a Morningstar that cannot be targeted. Other than that, you kind of just have to run into it. 3 Eggshell, pretty basic. 2 Superbia, like I said. 1 Desire, really good card. I'm not gonna go over the effects because I'm sure you guys know them by now. But Desire is really good for removal. And then the 2 Morningstars. 3 Nastin, 1 Darklord Teska, and then 1 Uko back. I only have 1 Uko back here because I really hated having to normal summon this and then ending my turn pretty much. Like, I want to save my normal summon for a Morningstar, and I definitely don't want this guy in attack mode with only 700 attack, because we're paying life every time we activate our cards or our monster effects. You really can't afford to just spot your opponent, a free attack into you. So Ukobak is here to be special summoned with Morningstar in order to send 1 Sanctified Darklord into the graveyard. And then we have the 3 Darklord Contact. Pretty standard, I think, for the most part, except for the Celestial Transformation. And this is just the way I decided to play it. It might not end up being the best, but I really did try a lot of things. I tried Grievous, and it's really nice protection, but it sucks when you draw into a Grievous and you really need a Darklord card. So I don't know, I kept flip-flopping. This deck did get me to Legend 2, I will say that. It's the one deck that I got the most consistent wins with. So look at this hand. We have a Sphere Grievous, 2 Contact, and 1 Superbia. Really bad hand. This could have been an Eggshell, this could have been a Nastin. The Grievous is kind of a brick here, but it can at least prevent that we get OTK'd, I guess. So my opponent's running 6 Samurais. Good opening hand for him. Ends with a Shien, a Iru, we top deck Eggshell, which is so clutch. When I activate Darklord Contact, he's gonna negate, and that's fine. We have a second one, luckily for us. So we're gonna special summon Superbia. Superbia is gonna summon Eggshell. We're gonna tribute both for Morningstar and special summon 2 from the deck. Anytime I special summon with Morningstar and I'm going up against 6 Samurais, I like special summoning Teska, because if they try to initiate, they won't be able to target your Morningstar, and if they send your Teska back into your hand, now you have protection from battle on being destroyed by card effect. And we're gonna use the Uko back to send that trap from the deck to the graveyard. And then we're gonna go for the attack. If there's a 6 style back there, I want to attack with my Teska first. That way, if he tries to respond with a 6 style, he's gonna have to target my Uko back and my Teska. He can now target my Morningstar. I did forget to activate Morningstar's effect and gain life. That's one thing that I keep forgetting to do, unless I'm like actively thinking if I'm like low on life. But there's no 6 style. There is an enemy controller, and as you can see, he tries to use it to protect his Shien, and is forced to use it on the Teska. Dojo into Inishi. I could have negated this with Sanctified Darklord, but I was like, whatever, this goes back to my hand. I have protection from destruction, and I have Sphere Krivo, so I'm good. I just let the effect go through. He's gonna special summon Shien, and then pretty much realize that there's nothing he can do. Scoops it up. And then I believe from this on is when I decided to completely cut the Krivos and add the Celestial transformation. We have a Mokuba. We have a good hand for going second, especially after we top deck that Superbia. Darklord Contact, Superbia into Eggshell. I didn't tribute here because he's not controlling any face-up effect monsters. So you can only special summon monsters when there's face-up effect monsters on your opponent's side of the field. So if I did that, my Darklord is not protected or anything like that. It wasn't worth it. I decided to just normal summon the Uko back, send my trap to the grave, and he has a treacherous trap hole. But luckily for me, I have my Darklord Teska, and all I have to do is send it from the hand to the graveyard, protect my monsters, go for the beatdown. And we're going up against some sort of Capricorn Blink, I can't remember. He sends my Superbia to the graveyard. I'm going to special summon that during his end phase. Now I go for the tribute, activate the effect of Morningstar, get some life points, and win. Oh, I messed up by not attacking with Eggshell first. So he ends up getting his Capricorn Blink, goes for Neos Fusion. Special summons a Brave Neos. I'm going to send the this Sanctified Darklord to the back to the deck to negate the effect. What I'm doing by negating the effect is I'm putting him back at 2500, so he's gonna be forced to use the Neos Fusion in the graveyard. Not that it matters at this point, because I'm gonna be able to special summon the Nastin. And even though he has one Bacon Saver, he's too low on life, so either one of my attacks is gonna win the game. And look, I was at 6,000 life right there. Alright, we got a Crowler next. And I'm assuming this is Ancient Gears? Probably. Yeah, so we're gonna go Eggshell, draw 2. Don't pick up anything, and by that I mean Darklord Contact. So I'm gonna set the Celestial. He goes for Galaxy Cyclone, so I'm gonna activate Celestial. Special summon the Superbia in defense mode just to protect my life. It didn't really matter there because he didn't attack. So I'm gonna keep my Sanctified Darklord, and I need to top deck into a Contact. I get Eggshell, but I can draw 2. I'm gonna activate Hey Trunate, go for the Contact, special summon Superbia. Superbia summons Eggshell in attack mode. Eggshell is going to activate from the activate my Sanctified Darklord from the graveyard to send it back, special summon a second Superbia. I contribute both of them for my Nastin, go for the beatdown, and that's game. 32-31. Yeah, so without beatdown, this kind of games would be a lot different. Like right here, I wouldn't have had lethal. If he's able to special summon a reactor, I'm in deep trouble because all my monsters are under 3000. So I really feel like beatdown is a must with this deck. At least until Ancient Gears are in the picture. Still waiting for Konami to hit the deck in some shape or form. Here we're going first against 6 Samurai probably. All these duels were in Legend, by the way. This were the duels that got me to Legend too. So we're gonna go Darklord Contact. Ixchel is going to special summon the Ukobak. Ukobak is gonna send that trap. And I'm gonna go ahead and replace the Ukobak with a Darklord Desire. My opponent is gonna go Shien. And that's it, he ends his turn. So during the draw phase, he goes into Treacherous Trapple, which is really unfortunate. I'm gonna activate Ixchel's effect just to negate the Shien. And I'm hoping here that I'm gonna draw into a contact of a Ixchel. But at worst, I'm gaining life and I'm not, you know, in super trouble of dying. So we're gonna go for Ixchel here. We don't get a contact. I have to settle for Nastin, but at least we thin the deck a little bit. And having only one monster against 6 Samurais is actually pretty clutch because you're playing around 6 style. So I'm gonna go for beatdown here. He clearly has a dual will, a 6 style dual will set. That's why he summoned the Kisara in attack mode. No other reason to do that if you don't have any follow-up play. We're gonna go for Shien right here. And decides to suicide at 26, which is fine. Top deck contact. Special summon Superbia, go for Ixchel, and because I was a dead 6 style, he just scoops. Yeah, so the 6 Samurai matchup is not super bad. It's more running into stall with Darklords that I struggle a lot. That's why I threw in the Hate Runade, but even then, even if you get rid of the back row, they have so many monsters that are hard to get over for this deck. You're talking about Obnoxious Celtic Guardian. You would have to use the trap, and then if they have the other one, the Guardian Warrior or whatever, then you have to use one trap on them as well, or attack them twice. It's just way too much. I guess you could tech in Treacherous and stuff like that, but then you lose consistency there. So another 6 Samurai deck, 3 monsters. We're gonna go Ixchel, activate Darklord Contact, activate Celestial Transformation to... This is what I mean. If I have another fairy and I have Celestial Transformation, I can just special summon it for fodder. You can still activate an effect too before you tribute and stuff like that. Morningstar is gonna let us special summon 2, so we get Ixchel and Ukobak from the deck. Go for beatdown. We're gonna see the enemy controller, and he can't target my Morningstar, so he goes for the Tesca. Synchros into Shien. Shien's gonna be able to destroy my Tesca, but I'm gonna gain some life right there. Then I activate Celestial Transformation. He negates, which is kind of unfortunate. But it's, again, I have one monster. He's probably gonna have to rely on 6 style or an Inishi to get rid of my Morningstar. Doesn't get the Inishi, and we win the game. And I think that's it for, yeah, that's it for Darklords. Like I said, it's a really fun deck, but the reason why I think it struggles so much in Duel Links is because you just can't maintain the card advantage. What they do in TCG, and I shouldn't even bring it up because this is not TCG, having the Darklord Searcher card, it's really good because you get to use it from the graveyard, and that becomes like a +1. In this deck, there's not really a whole lot of cards that do that for you. Like, you just have to draw into your cards, that's it. Even Ixchel is not a true plus in the deck. You're just discarding 2 to draw 2. So I think that's where the deck is lacking a little bit. That's why taking advantage of Morningstar, the summons from the deck as your sort of plus was the way that I decided to go with this deck. But really fun. If you have it, definitely try it out. I feel like a lot of people are gonna optimize builds, and we might see a really strong Darklord build in the future, so I'm excited for that. That's gonna be it for me though. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, like, comment, and subscribe if you want. Join my Discord if you haven't, the link will be down in the description. I look at my PayPal link if you guys want to support my channel, support my content. I really appreciate that. And until next time.